Hello, it's working. I was having trouble getting on here for a second, but it looks like it's good. So I'm going to find a few people. Let me find Heather and just let her know I'm on here, invite her to watch. I hope you guys are having a great evening. I'm going to take a sip. I'm getting a scratchy throat. Oh gosh, please don't let me be getting sick. I know it looks like I've been in my pajamas all day, which I have because I work from home. I barely put clothes on, you guys. But I'm super, super excited. I've known Heather for a long time. I actually met her through a mutual friend. Her name's Debbie. And I think Debbie's in here with us, hopefully. I've known Debbie for, gosh, I want to say like 20 years. And then I met Heather around this time last year. And, but I'm super excited she's doing this and she's introducing more of her friends to Ruby Ribbon because I know a few of you are already wearing your camis and your demis and you love them. And so I'm excited to share with the rest of you who have not met Ruby Ribbon yet, because this is my favorite part of the job, is introducing new women to the product, because you guys are going to be blown away. I cannot wait to hear your responses when you try your first cami. So I'll kind of blabber for a few minutes, making sure my comments are working. That looks good. Making sure, oh wait, let me check this. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, why I started doing this, because let me tell you, if you had said to me a year and a half ago that I would be talking to women that and telling them about how they can replace their bra, I would have laughed my butt off, you guys. There's no way I would have thought I would be doing this, but here I am, and I love every second of it, and this is actually the most fulfilling job I have ever had in my life. If you are already, I know a few of you are already a part of my VIP group. If you're in there, you'll see all the successes I've had all year and all the things. I'm going to Costa Rica in April. I want a trip with a company. I could not be more excited about that trip. There is a conference coming up in July that I'm going to be attending in Orlando, Florida. And it's just been an exciting, I know 2021 was hard for a lot of reasons. I actually personally lost my mom and my brother this year. And I know a lot of you guys experienced a lot of losses, and I don't want to downplay that. But at the same time, I think 2021 has been both my best and my worst year, if that makes sense. I think a lot of you guys can relate to that. So, anyways, I started doing this because I fell in love with the product. I tried one on and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really what it says it's going to do. I was not actually in a party at first. My cousin told me about them. She started sending me photos of different women in camis and trying to convince me that, they'll work, even though I am an E cup. I've always had, well, not always, but since I was in my mid 20s is when my chest got really large all of a sudden. I had gained some weight too, to be honest. But, and then when I lost the weight, it never went away. And that my boobs just stayed. And I hear all these women say all the time, like, oh gosh, I lose weight, the boobs are the first thing that goes. That is not true for me. My boobs just keep growing and growing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, this has to stop at some point. But it hasn't yet. So, so I was not actually really on the hunt for a good bra. Before I tried my first cami, I had a bra. I'll actually show you. I saved it because I just like to show women how sad it was. This was the bra that I was wearing before. This is a Warner's bra that cost $14 at Walmart. So I was like, okay, it's non-underwire. I wasn't wearing underwire. I cannot stand underwire. It literally causes bruises on my rib cage. It pokes and prods, and they're not the right shape anyway. So like they never, hey Heather, there you are. So they just never fit. The underwire was always too wide or too narrow, mostly too narrow for my breasts. And so they were always cutting in and digging. So I had settled on this. You guys, look how sad this is. It's just a soft cotton. I mean, it's almost more like a bralette, but it's kind of in the shape of a bra, but it made my boobs look really sad. Like, it was not flattering, you guys. It did not provide support. It was just something to cover my nipples is essentially what it was doing. So I was wearing that, and I was like, I had kind of given up on it. I was like, whatever, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to wear this. I had it in black. I had it in that color, and that covered all my outfits. I had given up on strapless options. Good Lord, there is no strapless option that would ever do anything for me. I had one strapless bra that I got from Victoria's Secret when I was like in my late 20s, and I'm 40 now, by the way, that kind of worked. But you could see, like, when you were wearing something, you could see it was like kind of popping open. There was like gaping. And so you could see this horrible line, and it was just, and it never stayed up. And then if I tightened it, it was too tight and it caused all this bulge. It was just horrible. It was awful. I could never find a variety or a brand of bras that covered what I needed for all occasions. That never, it just didn't happen. So anyway, my cousin starts telling me about these camis and how wonderful they are. And in fact, her first cami was the convertible, which is like the strapless. And that's what had her fall in love with the product. And I was like, I don't know. Like I don't think they're going to work for me. I tried this kind of stuff before. It never does work. I just have given up and I wasn't interested. So she left it alone. And I went to see my mom. And she actually had this exact cami on, this exact same one I'm wearing right now. This is the cami my mom had on last year when I went to see her, or actually it was the year before. And I was like, oh my gosh, like she showed me and I was like, oh my gosh, she's separated. She's lifted. She's shaped. It looks amazing. And I was like, okay, but how comfortable are they? Are they gonna make me hot? Are they gonna roll up at the hips? All this stuff. And my mom was like, no, you just got to try them. So I came home, I called my cousin and I was like, all right, Amanda, you got to tell me, what do I need to do to get one of these? Like, tell me. And at the time, and this was December of 2020, so almost a little bit more than a year ago, they had this kit where you signed up, you got $250 to spend on product credit. And I was like, well, whatever, I'll just try that. Like, it'll save me a little money. So I was paying like $150 for $250 worth of stuff. And I got 3 camis and I absolutely fell in love. I was like, oh my gosh, like every woman needs to know about these. And Heather actually tried. Heather, when was your first, I'm trying to remember when you, was it February or March of last year that you got your first cami? I think it was February or March because it was pretty early on. Maybe even January. It might have been even January, so like a year ago. But Heather was actually one of my very first customers. And so, like I said, Debbie sorry, Debbie, I always butcher your name. DiGiordano. You're going to have to help me with that. Sorry, Debbie, if you watch this. But anyways, Debbie had told Heather about it, and then Heather came to my page, and then we started talking, and she tried a cami, and she fell in love just as much as I did. So I'm glad we're here back a year later. I'm going to introduce more of Heather's friends to it because you guys, these are literally life-changing. Like, I know you've been told so many times that, like, yes, it's going to work, and you see the Facebook ads and all that stuff, and like, this is it, you guys. This is it. You'll never have to find anything else again. And it works for all shapes and sizes, all the way down 28A cup, all the way up to a 54Q cup. Q, you guys, Q. I said Q, like LMNOPQ. I actually personally know a Q cup. Her name is Sarah, and she loves them so much. She also signed up to be a stylist. So I can confirm that, yes, they fit up to a Q cup. I have personally fit a lady who had P cups. Oh my gosh, you guys, talk about, she had 3 blown discs in her back because her breasts were so huge that they were just causing this constant back pain. So she was in major relief when she got to try her first cami. Okay, so what I'll do, first I wanted to show you this cute robe. This was like a thing a Christmas special they did. Oh my God, it's so soft. I love it so much. But I'm wearing it because I was a little chilly. It's really cold outside here in California. I live in Northern California, not Southern California, so it's not as warm here. But this is a very good example of like one of the more popular styles. But what I want to point out is a couple of really important features. So first of all, the reason they don't roll at the hips and the reason they stay in place so well, I'm trying not to flash you guys, is because they have a silicone gripper. And that gripper, like if you can move, you can stretch, you can do, and look, it just stays right where it's supposed to stay. I'm really trying hard not to flash you guys, really trying to make sure, but I'm trying to show you like you can literally bend over, you can do, and it just stays, like it just stays where it's supposed to be. So you wear it against your skin so that that silicone gripper can hold onto that skin and you don't even feel it. It feels like nothing at all. Another thing that I was concerned about before I tried my first cami was, is it going to make me hot? You guys, I'm freezing cold right now. It actually is like a very breathable moisture and also like heat wicking properties to the material. So instead of it trapping the heat against your body, it's actually pulling the heat away and then like dissipating the heat. And same with sweat. I used to get horrible sweat. Like right here, I would just have this line, and then along my back, it actually pulls the sweat away from your body, but doesn't transfer it to your shirt. So you don't end up with like sweat marks and, you know, all that kind of stuff if you're like a sweaty girl like me. I sweat a ton. But I think, you know, some of the questions that those were like the 2 questions that were at the top of my mind that I was like, okay, like those were the reasons that it didn't work most of the time when I had tried previous products. They would roll, they would move around, they were annoying because I had to keep messing with them. And then they would make me hot. because I run hot. But this does neither of those things. It doesn't roll, it doesn't make you hot. Some of the features that I like now that I've had the product and I've been able to wear it for a little while, I like the shaping. I like the shaping in the cups. So let me put like let me grab like a thin t-shirt. Oh, here, I have one right here to put over so you can see. Like, I just love that there's no bulge. Like, look how flush it is. Like, it's just like a nice shape. There's no like gaping. And that's what would happen with because first of all, my left breast is a little bigger than my right. And then I also have like different size breasts during different times of the month. So what happens is I get lots of swelling when like just before and then during my period. So like for about, I don't know, like 8 or 9 days a month, I am like swollen, and I'm like a whole cup size swollen. Like, it's not just a little bit of swelling. It's like a whole, so I had to have 2 different size bras so that I could accommodate for when like my breasts were more swollen. And a lot of times, because I didn't want to mess with like 2 different size bras, I would just wear the same one, and either it would be gaping when my breasts were smaller, or it would be bulging out the top or the middle right here when it was swollen. So it was super annoying and very uncomfortable. So let me show you though, I'll put this like kind of thin t-shirt so you can really see, of course, mess my hair up there, like how smooth that profile is. Look at that. There's no gaping. I have 2 separate boobs. Like, I definitely have, I mean, you can see the color of the cami underneath, but 2 separate breasts. Look how nice that shape is. Like, that's not my natural breast shape, you guys. Like, my boobs don't look like that. My boobs are like here. I breastfed 2 kids, so I don't have 20-year-old perky boobs anymore. And that's what I found is that, like, after I got older, I'm going to take this off. After I got older, my boobs were just different shapes. And I feel like a lot of the bra manufacturers, they're just like, oh, here, this is the shape of a boob. Let's stuff them all in the same one. It's like, no, they're all different shapes and sizes. You can't just like make one shape and then expect everyone to fit in it. But that's what they do, right? So let me kind of quickly go over each like compression level, because here's the thing, and this is what makes Ruby Ribbon different from other products. Other products, you say, okay, these are my measurements. You know, you go get fitted. Here's my band size. Here's my bust size. Here's my hip size, my whatever. And then they're like, okay, you're a small, or you're a medium, or you're a large, or you're an extra large, or you're an XXL, or you're a 32C, or you're a 42D, or whatever. And you think like, oh, I'm trying to get this right fit. And so for me, my band measures 36, and then my bust is 42. So I was technically, what does that mean? A, B, C, D, E, F. So I was a 36F is what I measure. But if I tried on a 36F, the cups were way too big. And then I was like, okay, maybe a 36E, again, way too big. So I settled on a 36 double D, tried that, but then the band was too tight. And then I tried a 38 D, and I was like, okay, this feels like semi-normal. So I settled on that size. Well, it still didn't fit well. So Ruby Ribbon has 5 levels of compression, and each level offers, I would say those are more about like what time of the day you'd want to use it. Like, are you using it to sleep in? Are you using it to go out for the day? Are you using it for date night? Are you using it just for like casual, like around the house? So they have something for all of that. And then more importantly, they have different styles. So you're going to find your size, your compression level that is good for you, and then you're also going to find your size. Well, I'm going to find your size. You're going to fill out the fitting form, and you're going to give me all those measurements, your band, your bust, your waist, your hips, also some other things like how long is your torso, because Ruby Ribbon makes so many options in different styles and different levels of compression, different sizes that will fit all of these different body shapes. So when you go shop at Spanx, are you a small? Are you a large? Are you an extra large? Like, okay, if you're an extra large, don't you think all those women who have extra large body size, like, don't you think they're different shape? They have different size hips, waist, all that. If they're just made for one size, of course they're not going to fit right. You might get lucky and they might fit you, but they don't have different just kind of shapes to them. So Ruby Ribbon came up with a fit guide that includes not just your measurements, but also, are you a pear shape? Are you an apple shape? Do you hold more weight in your tummy? Do you hold more weight in your hips? Are you top heavy? Do you have a long torso, a short torso? All of that matters with Ruby Ribbon. So I know it might be easy to say, okay, just tell me my size and I'll pick the color that I like. It's not that simple. We want you to fill out the fit guide so that we can figure out exactly the style and the size that's going to work perfectly for your body shape. And it's out there. But this is what we say as stylists. There is a cami for everybody, but not every cami is made for everybody. So, sounds like I'm saying the same thing twice, but I'm not. But I'm going to show you each style, each level of compression, just kind of one example from each one. So you can kind of see. I should have stepped into this instead of putting it over my head. It's a little bit tight. This is actually level 1. So this is like what they would consider like a lingerie. But this really isn't meant, now I'm putting it over, this is a level 4. It really doesn't lift a lot or provide like a lot of compression or shape or like that. It's really just meant to be just like a pretty lingerie that you wear. Now I layer it over my 4 or 5. Like one of my favorite ones to wear it over is this one. So this is a level 4 heritage, and I like to layer it over the top just to give it a pretty color. But it's really not meant to lift. Like it's a very, very light compression. So a little bit of lift, but not very much. Level 2 is actually one of my favorites for trying not to pull my pants down unsuccessfully. I totally just pulled my pants down. We're just going to keep going. Okay, so level 2. Oh, here's another level 1 though. Look how pretty this is. Look how gorgeous that is. That is beautiful. Level 2 is called Second Skin, and it is such a good name for it because it literally feels like buttery soft. I know that sounds weird. It almost feels like skin. Like it's just so, so soft. This one, again, not meant to lift a lot. It's not meant to compress or, take inches off your waist. It's just meant for a light support. So like I wear this around the house all the time. This is what I live in. Like if I'm not leaving the house, I just have this on. I sleep in it. It's so freaking soft. This is where the silicone gripper at the bottom starts kicking in. Level 1 does not have the silicone gripper. It really doesn't need it because it's just really stretchy. But that silicone gripper I showed you earlier that sits against your hips right here, that starts kicking in on level 2. So it keeps it in place. It's not moving around. You're not having to fidget with it all the time. And it's latex free. So there's no allergic reactions or anything like that. It's very, very, it's just not noticeable. Like you don't even feel it, but it does its job. Level 3 is a light support. So it has high breast lift in the front and then just a very mild amount of compression at the bottom. So it's not really going to, again, it's not going to take inches off your waist. It kind of feels similar to the level 2 and just that it just smooths gently, but it has high breast support at the top. So if you're someone who has like sensory issues and you feel like, oh gosh, I can't have any pressure at all on my tummy. Like most women can put up with quite a lot of, if you want to be pulled together, as long as it's in a comfortable way. But level 3 is for ladies who are like, oh gosh, no, I can't, you have like maybe anxiety or just kind of like it gets you going or whatever if you have any compression. For me, I love the compression. Give me all the compression. I want it all pulled in. I do like level 3 though. Don't get me wrong. I wear it all the time. Level 4, this is where it's at, you guys. Level 4 is their flagship product. So I definitely recommend, do not be scared of levels 4 and 5. When you think about the entirety of like the range of compression that's available in different shapewear throughout the entire market, Ruby Ribbon is here. And then there's all this like Spanx and like really tight stuff like over here. Ruby Ribbon's level 5 doesn't even come close to what it feels like to be like zipped up in a girdle or a corset or something like that. Like we're talking about comfortable compression, takes a couple inches off the waist, smooths everything out, definitely smooths, this part of your back so you don't get the back bulge and stuff like that. But when we talk about our higher compression levels, they're so comfortable, you guys. They're so comfortable. So this is one of my new favorites. This is called the Pinup, and the color is called Cabernet, and it has this like really beautiful lace. And this is another thing I love about Ruby Ribbon is that, especially if you're a bigger chested girl or just a bigger girl in general, when you walk into a bra store, you walk into Victoria's Secret or whatever, your choices, like you see all this pretty stuff in the front of the store, and then like if you're lucky it goes to a double D and they're like, oh, you're a P cup, we have 2 options for you in the back of the store. Let's go back there. And it's like black and nude. And they're like, that's it. Or you can order online and take your chances and probably end up with a bad fit. But Ruby Ribbon has all these beautiful options. Look at this beautiful lace here. It has a lace trim at the bottom where that silicone is. I just love, and they have so many more options. You guys, this is just the beginning. Like, this is just one. Of course, they always have the pale, which is like nude. They have the black, they have white, they have all the normal colors that you would expect, but plus they have all these really pretty colors. So level 4, let me show you, I'll just do a quick demo because I want you to really be able to visualize, or show you visually, I should say, what the deal is with Ruby Wood. Like, why is it different? So this part is where the breast comes through, and see how it's like really see-through, and then over here, like there, it's like darker, like less see-through, and then all of a sudden you start noticing like, oh gosh, there's all these like release points throughout the garment that keep it from squeezing you too much. Yet it has these panels and these places where there's more compression, like under the breast. And what that does is it smooths you out in the places that you want to be smoothed out. So like, yes, please lift my boobs, please smooth out my back fat here. You know, handle my muffin top situation, like take care of all of that, but don't hug me so tight that I can't breathe. Like, you don't want to feel like a sausage being like squeezed, and then you've got like fat popping out all the time. Have you guys ever done that? Like, you get shapewear and you're like, oh gosh, I look so skinny, and then it gets to the edge and then everything's like you know, at the top you're like, whoa, okay, that is not flattering. Yeah, I look skinny here, but then everything's kind of popping out everywhere. So that's the cool thing, is you don't have to worry about like the top of the back and all that kind of stuff. I think my cat is like beating on my door right now. The tops of the garment, just everything stays flush and smooth. You don't have to worry about bulging and all that kind of stuff. And that's because of those release points throughout that kind of let go where they need to let go, if that makes sense. So there's definitely those 2 panels over the back. So this is the back of it. There's like a panel here, and it kind of runs down almost to the bottom, and that panel helps smooth this area out right here. So I have lots of back fat, and I want that to be smooth. I hate the way my bra used to create that like that line where it like digged in, and then I didn't even know how bad it was from the back until I actually took some before and after pictures. And I put my bra on, and I took a front and a side and a back, and then I put my cami on, and I did the same thing, and I saw the back picture with my bra, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, why didn't anyone tell me that's what was going on? And now all I do is walk around all the time, and I just see women with that, and I'm like, oh gosh, I need to help them. I need to help them. But how do you walk up to a woman like in a supermarket or something and say, hey, I see your bra bulge in your back. I see your extra boobs. Can I help you? Like, that is not a way to start a conversation. I'll find a way eventually. But I just love that level 4 kind of gives you not so much compression that you feel like you're being squeezed or anything like that. It's very, very comfortable. You could definitely wear it all day. Provides a lot more back support, especially than a bra. But I love that it takes the weight off the shoulders. So I will have permanent dents in my shoulders for the rest of my life. These will never go away. If they haven't gone away in a year, they definitely won't go away now. So if you have those, I wish I could say they get better, but they don't. But this takes most of the weight off the shoulders, and it has this compression sling here that holds everything up and like kind of nicely shapes it, grabs that side boob and all that and kind of pulls it together and then separates it without feeling like, you know, like you're being like totally squeezed into little pieces. Level 5, well, this is another level 4. This is another one of my favorites. This is a Heritage, the Camel Fog. I think they still have some of this left. That was kind of a seasonal color. Okay, level 5 is, and Heather, if you're still watching, you'll have to tell me which camis you have. I know you have the lace cami. I feel like that was your first, but I'm trying to remember what else you have. And now you have some second skin. Sorry, I was getting thirsty. Okay, so level 5 is really actually very similar to level 4, except it's just a little more compressive. So here in the tummy area, the panels are like a little tiny bit thicker, so they do kind of compress and hold things together a little bit more. But the main difference is that in the front of the cami, and it only runs along the front, there's an extra shelf bra. So most Ruby Ribbon products do not contain any kind of like separate pieces. Like it's just all one piece. And then it has that compression and all that kind of just to pull it together and give you the lift you want. However, they don't have like shelf bras except level 5. So level 5 has the shelf bra because if you are very large breasted, if you have really heavy, dense breasts, like if you're above, like I would say like an E cup, level 5 is probably something you'll want to explore. There's several styles within. This is just happens to be one of them. This was like a limited edition called Ginger Snap they put out in the Diva Lace. But it has that extra shelf bra so that it can really pull your girls up. Like if your girls are down to your knees and they're heavy, and especially when they're heavy at the bottom, the level 5 will pull them up into place really well. It also has more back support, especially in the top. Right here along this area than most of the other camis, and it sits a little higher, and that's so that again it can take most of the pressure off the shoulders, and then it can support your back better. And so if you've got those real heavy girls, it can pull it up and out and just make them look good and everything. So personally, I actually, let me show you my favorite level 5. I have it because I was wearing it yesterday. I have it right over here. It's called the Ultimate, and it's kind of, I guess, more like plain Jane. Like I like to think of it as like a simple t-shirt design. Like there's no frilly lace or anything like that. I love how basic. So I have this in the black, and I have it in the pale, which is like a nude. So if I'm wearing light or dark colors, depending on, and this works for everything. I love the Ultimate. I love the separation between the breasts. I love the extra shelf bra. I'm not a fan of shelf bras normally. When I used to get tank tops like from Forever 21, just like something to put over my bra, I tried to make sure it didn't have a shelf bra because they used to dig in a lot because I'm really wide across my back right here. So I used to like look for stuff that didn't have that, but this one doesn't bother me at all. It's very soft. I don't even notice it's there. It's super comfortable. So that's kind of a little bit about every compression level. If I tried to explain to you like all of the nuances and all of the things to know about Ruby Ribbon, it would take me all night. And besides, that's my job, is to figure all of that out for you. So you can tell me, Carrie, I'm looking for, I need high breast lift, I want medium tummy support, and I have a long torso, and here's my measurements. And I just boop, 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 like do my thing and figure it out. And I'm like, okay, here's what you need. And exchanges and returns are so easy. So easy. I'm sure Heather has done at least one exchange. I know I have. Because sometimes I try a new style and I'm like, oh, you know what? This isn't for me. I'm going to go back to my regular Ultimate or my lace cami or whatever. You literally just put it back in the package it comes in. It comes in a package that looks like this. And you just put it back in the package. And they send you a packing slip. You pull this silver lining off and then just stick it down and boom, you're done. It's so easy. So don't hesitate to try something if you are interested, but the price is kind of, you know, like, oh gosh, like, I don't know. Go look in your bra drawer. How many bras do you have in there? 2 camis can replace all of your bras, and you can be comfortable all day, every day. That's what I did. I was like, before I threw them away, I probably had 40 different, between bras and shapewear and stuff like that, like different things I was trying to find that would work. I probably had more than 40. It was ridiculous. So once I realized I need 2 camis, well, I clearly have more than 2, but at first it was like, okay, if I get 2 camis and I can replace all of that, that's a way better investment, way better. But if you're still thinking, okay, now is just not a good time, let's have a party. Let's do like Heather's doing, and you can earn some half off discounts. It's so easy. I make it super simple. You really don't have to do much at all. I do recommend you try one first, at least one, just to see how it goes. But let me know if the financial thing is like a bit much for you. Just reach out to me and let me know, and we can figure something out. All right, you guys, I hope that you watched this till the end. I know it was long and I talk a lot, but I appreciate you guys being here, and I am so excited for you guys to try this. I just love introducing new women to it. And thank you, Heather, for inviting your friends in here. And I hope to get to know all of you a lot better soon. All right, take care. Have a good night. Mwah.